Hey guys, this is my first attempt at building an RC smoke setup. I started with a wee nitro gas tank that had a crack in the top of it. As you can see here, I've cut the top off, installed some wires on the side, easy little holes. Installed up for 4 burners, so I'm going to install 4 burners. Is the plan here on the sleeping cat. 3mm nichrome wire, 10 turn coils, pretty easy. Wrap it around an Allen key, install them into our nitro container, just a positive and a negative on each one individually, straight from the battery. This is my first test in water. This is unfortunately when I found out that this tank had a crack in the bottom of it. But as you can see here, it glows pretty good in the water itself. So I went out and I brought some new tanks, aka some glass jars, and I started on a model number 2. Simply installing it all through the lid inside a tube, setting it up again for 4 burners, simple vent holes in the top of the lid, measuring out the height from the bottom, make sure I don't want it touching. 4 new burners ready to go in, attached to a positive and a negative each. Again, checking for clearance on the bottom, gluing it all up, ready to go. Starting on the fan for the push through smoke setup, building a simple foam board cowling, bit rough, but this is just a test model. Again, just finishing off my cowling, adding an exhaust port. We'll need to direction the smoke, and this is the winding of the wick onto the elements. Got to be rather gentle, as it's no soldering holding the elements on as they get too hot for solder, but just making sure I cover every one when winding on my oil soaked wick. Wire it on finally, just to hold it on there. It's worked well for me so far. Setting it up to test an in-flight test for the plane. Again, just setting it up in the jar for height check, adding maybe 2 tablespoons of oil. Time for the first test. Power in 3, 2, 1. Seems to be working alright, so time to wait till the morning, set up for a day test, rewind to the wick, refill of the oil, and some power up, and away it goes. Again, not that much visible smoke on the 4 burner setup, but I figured I'd set it up and try it in the plane anyway, just to see if it was at all visible.
Oh, it doesn't smell too bad. Looks like the baby's last.
Set up in the plane there, just rammed into a home built I made. Check the last video. Servo actuated switch for power. So you can see instant smoke. Once I start the prop up, it sucks it backwards and seems to sort of dissipate it.
You see it back here, right? You can see it here.
Still figured we'd go for a flight test anyway, but this is where it went wrong. So in setting up for this flight test, I accidentally pushed a positive and a negative together on the coils. So once I armed the smoke unit, all hell broke loose pretty much. I melted out all the positives and all the negatives together, ran the powering battery completely dead and very hot, and got no smoke at all out of it. Just a rather faint burning smell of plastic as it passed on by every time. Anyway, thanks for watching. Stay tuned for part 2. Please like and subscribe. And there will be a part 2. I plan on making this go. Thanks again. Bye.
Nah.